Well, Mikel, first of all, I wonder what Christmas means to you.
I have some great memories since I was little, and obviously we have a big family. I have 3 boys, still very young, so it means a lot because there are the moments that we bring a lot of family back home, and we spend time together, which is rare during the year, so very special.
Take us back. What was it like growing up in your house?
We were up very late. We used to sleep in my grandparents' house, and we were like 18, 20 of us. My cousins, my mom, my grandparents, they are not with us anymore, unfortunately. So it was really special. It was that Christmas energy around the house, lots of food, lots of talking, so some good moments.
And you would celebrate Christmas Eve?
Yeah.
Sure. And what would that look like?
Very nervous. I was so anxious as a kid as well, very active, and always the next morning, come on, it has to be now.
What was the first Christmas you remembered? Were you about 4 or 5?
Around there, yeah.
Do you remember what you got?
Yeah, I have some shinpads.
Of course you did.
I had a ball, I had a little piano that I didn't like at the time, so I was so happy with the shinpads. They were really hard, and I was, this is going to be good.
Yes, yeah. And the most memorable present growing up?
Probably the Barcelona shirt that I had, one of my first Barcelona shirts, yeah.
Yeah, and any names on the back in those days?
It was number 4, no names.
No names.
Yeah.
Ready for your name?
Yeah.
Did you have that sense then that you were going to grow up to be a footballer?
The dream was there, probably. The fact that I was so young is still too far. I started to realize more when I was about maybe 13, 14, probably.
Yeah.
It's still a dream, because the hardest thing is still there to prove, but at least I was in the right environment to give myself a good chance, I think.
And the sort of food that you would have, the non-negotiables, your absolute Christmas would not be Christmas without it?
My mom's croquettes, ham and cheese croquettes, for sure. Seafood.
Yeah.
And then my wife's roast lamb.
You have to say that, don't you?
No, I really mean it. It's unbelievable.
And the most vivid memory?
Probably the last one that we had in my grandparents' house. And then the fact that they are not there no more, tough.
Yeah. And do you remember your first Christmas away, I guess, as a player, and how old you were and where you spent it and who you were with?
The first one, I was in Paris.
Yeah.
And there's some family came, but it was just my sister, it was my dad and mom, and some friends that we had there that we just got together, because if not, it was so lonely. So different experience.
And do you remember how old you were then?
I was 19, 18, 19.
Yeah. And I guess over the years, you've probably spent it in some quite random places and probably a few not so great hotels as a professional footballer.
Exactly, especially in some random hotels, in random dates. But I know that's the special thing about this league as well, that everybody wants to go to a stadium, watch football, New Year's Eve, whatever it is, football has to be on.
And what age did you feel that you wanted to then become a manager?
I had 2 moments. The first one when I landed in Barcelona in the academy, and they started to talk about the game in a way that nobody talked to me before. I said, oh, I really need to understand this because this is going to help. And the other one, when I was 27 and I did my cruciate. Yeah. And at some point after 3 surgeries, doctors were saying, Mikel, I'm not sure you're going to make it back. So I really started to think about that. And then Pep started to connect with me on that moment because he wanted to give me a few things to talk about. And then he put something on me and said, okay, let's try.
So I was looking at an interview you gave actually in 2014. One of the things you talked about in going into management was the sacrifice of the family all over again.
But it was my choice, and it was our choice at the end. To be fair, so after stopping my career, I made the promise that, okay, a year out and then let's start. And as football is, it happened what happened. I went straight to work with Man City and Pep, and then never stopped from there. So it's been a lot of years of continuous involvement in football. And
dedication at the expense of everything. And is it true that soon after your first child was born, you went and did your ACL rehab?
Yeah.
I mean, that...
An hour after.
An hour. Because
Yeah.
you just couldn't bear the thought of...
No, because it's something,
corners
it's not a
and-
feeling. I think it's in our culture, the fact that it's not it's like you are cheating yourself and not doing exactly everything that you can to be in the best place tomorrow, you know. And yeah, I don't feel proud of it, but it's what I am.
You were also asked in that interview, in your imaginary world of Arteta FC, what your team looked like, and it was 120% commitment, and it was work hard and work, and you play when I tell you want to play. And
yeah, first of
what
all, I
you were
wouldn't
like then.
put that name to the team because obviously it's so many people that contributes to that. Probably the word that I would change is make sure that the players enjoy and the staff enjoys every single bit of what we do, especially if I'm the manager and I have the responsibility to create that context. And then, yeah, the fact that we better give our very best and win.
Just to clarify, this was your make-believe imaginary world, not your real world.
Yeah,
and you were that kind of focused on it then.
I was clear what I wanted and how I wanted it, but to be fair, from the dream to the reality is a bit different sometimes.
Moving a bit more into the present, I think one of the things you also said that was to savour moments, and at this time of year, do you get that chance to do that?
I try. So I think, and I've gone through quite a lot because obviously when you play that many games, you win some, you lose some, and then you have to go home. Last year, for example, it was tough. On New Year's Day, we played Fulham, we lost, and then the family is there waiting for you, so excited, cooking and that, and you are not in the same vibe, you know. But you have to make an effort because they deserve it, and they do a lot of things as well to adapt to your life, and you better do the same. So I'm learning to do that better, and the fact to disconnect fully, I'm not sure. But when I'm there, I really want to be present because I notice as well that if you're not, there is a disengagement, whether it's your closest friend, your family, they're always going to be there for you. But it's not the same, and I don't want to lose that.
Have you bought any presents yet?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
All of them?
No, we have the Secret Santa here on Monday, I think it is. And I haven't done that one, but the rest is done. Which for me, I'm more last minute, so I have some help to be fair. But it's done, yeah.
And then what sort of things will you be unwrapping? Novelty socks on Christmas morning? Is that what you...
My gift, you mean?
Yeah, to you? Is that the sort of thing you get?
They always surprise me. There are always a few jokes that involved, a few
really?
messages.
What did you get last year? A few messages.
A few
Go
messages
on then.
there.
What sort
like
of
a phone that doesn't work, for example. I got it once. They said, yeah, that's your new phone.
New phone,
you know,
brilliant.
It's an old phone that it does not work, and a few things like this. But
what do you get a Premier League manager?
It's random. They know my taste. So clothes or you know, a restaurant that I really want to go, or the fact that we're going to spend some time with the family somewhere and it's a holiday or something. They've been quite creative.
Christmas films?
Christmas films, yeah, for sure.
Favourite?
Well, they have a few. The Grunge one is always there.
Grinch.
My little one absolutely loves it, so I'm sure we're going to watch it again this year.
And then is it like building Hot Wheels in the afternoon, watching films and eating chocolate? Is it?
Yeah. And in the Spanish culture, is a lot of sugar involved, a lot of chocolate.
Grapes?
Yeah. Grapes is on New Year's.
Oh, right, yeah. Your New Year's resolutions?
It's keeping my family healthy, you know, because you realize that without that, you have nothing in your life. And your life can change and turn around very quickly when you have an issue. And family-wise, also everybody, we have these issues more often than probably before. And that's the only thing that I want to maintain and make sure that we all focus on that.
And Christmas future, so maybe 5, 10 years, you're sitting at your Christmas table with all your family around. What will make you happy? What will make you fulfilled?
That they want to be with me. That my family and friends, that I pick up the phone or they have the possibility to come to London if we are here or somewhere else, and they decide to be sitting next to us and spend time with us.
Do you think you'll be getting a team ready for Boxing Day fixture?
Yeah.
Yeah? 20 years'
In
time?
10 years.
10
I'm
years.
42. I will be 52.
It's a young man's game these days, though.
Yeah, I know. Well, I don't know. But
10 years?
If somebody wants you, if you still have the energy to do it, you ask me now, do you see that possibility? I would say probably yes.
Because you look at, say, Gareth Southgate and he's thinking of a new career. You look at Klopp and he's playing paddle and he's a sporting director. you look at Pep and the stress that he puts himself through day on day. Are you up for all of that still? Do you think you will be?
Well, I love what I do. I mean, it's my choice at the end to decide my profession, and I decided to do this because I absolutely love it. It's got his things, yes, but for me the positives are far bigger.
And in 20 years...
20 now.
We're just looking 20. Okay. The reason I say 20 is because 20 years ago, where we're sitting, this Arsenal team was one of the best ever. In 20 years, are we going to be talking about your current team, and do you think some of them will have that legendary status?
Well, I hope so, and they have merit to be there. But I think to get there, I think you have to win major trophies consistently, and that's what it makes you there. We'll have some records. Maybe they have broken some records that we have broken, that they were for a long, long time at this football club, and hopefully, if those individuals are getting recognized at that level, is because the club is done so well.